Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Bow to the weather here with the latest update for our bass fishing weather report for November 25th, 2020. And we're actually going to be covering 5 states. And those 5 states are Florida, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama. Going forward, we're going to be taking a look at the weather, the moon, and the tides in the area, and providing fishing enthusiasts with all the information, at least as much information as possible. And as this report matures over time, we'll try to involve a little bit more information such as swell and other tidbits of information that might enhance your fishing experience. So here we go. Based on the weather report for the continental United States, we are facing a situation where there is a low pressure trough actually making its way eastward, which is going to bring precipitation to the exact area that we're actually discussing tonight. We're talking about eastern Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. That pretty much that area. And what will actually happen is that with the strong high pressure in the southeast of the United States, that'll be actually moving east, and there'll be a cold front that'll be moving east, but eventually it will migrate with supporting east and southeasterly winds, and we anticipate this cold front would push east and then northward late Thursday. As far as the forecast for the high pressure that's centered over North Carolina, it may bring favorable weather to the north part of the Gulf of Mexico, which will impact Alabama and Mississippi, fishing there, and as well as Louisiana and the Florida coast, of course. Based on the precipitation models, we are actually seeing that there is some light precipitation that's going to be in the area of these 5 states for Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. As the week progresses, that is actually going to possibly increase to 1 or 2 inches extra, depending on which state, whether we're talking about Alabama or Georgia or Florida, as this front progresses northward from the high pressure. Okay. Also, we're actually looking at the wind speeds, and the winds are actually going to pick up also as a result of that front that's actually going to be moving to the north. It will actually dip down into the Gulf of Mexico a little bit, which will impact and bring precipitation quite a bit to the eastern part of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Possibly in North Florida, but then it's going to actually start making its way northeast, up into the northeast, and it's anticipated once it gets further into the northeast, then it will bring a situation of snow and possibly icy, freezy rain and sleet. So if we actually look at the various information for the tides and the moon and the position going forward for November 25th, 2020, which is Wednesday, we're actually looking at the following information. For Florida, sunrise will be 7:02 a.m. with sunset at 5:34 p.m. High tide will be 5:02 a.m. with the second high tide at 5:07 p.m. The first low tide will be 5:32 a.m. and the second low tide for Florida will be 10:36 p.m. For Texas, we're actually looking at sunrise for 6:49 a.m. and sunset for 5:16 p.m. First high tide will be 12:19 a.m. and the second high tide will actually be 1:27 p.m. with a low tide first low tide at 6:41 a.m. and the second low tide will be 6:38 p.m. For Mississippi, the Grand Bay, we're looking at a sunrise of 6:29 a.m. with sunset at 4:54 p.m. High tide at 8:11 and low tide at 6:45 a.m. Louisiana, Shell Bay, we're looking at sunrise at 6:34 p.m., sunset at 4:59 p.m. And the high tide, first high tide will be 1:39 a.m. with high tide second at 1:51 a.m. And we're actually looking at low tide. First low tide will be 9:48 a.m. with second low tide at 5:26 p.m. Alabama, Mobile Bay will be 6:27 a.m. sunrise with sunset at 4:51 p.m. with high tide at 5:33 p.m. and low tide at 9:49 a.m. As far as the moon is concerned, we are looking at a full moon on November 30th. For Florida, that will be 4:30 a.m. For Texas, 3:30 a.m. For Mississippi, it will be 3:30 a.m. For Louisiana, it will be 3:30 a.m. And for Alabama, it will be 3:30 a.m. As far as the pressure for the 5 locations, of course, average pressure is 1013 millibars or 29.91387 inches mercury. High is best for fishing in general, whereas low pressure can be good initially, but after a while, continued conditions may decay rapidly. For Florida, the pressure will be at 10 a.m. will be 30.24. And at 4 p.m. it will be 30.15. For Texas, at 1 a.m., the pressure will be 29.94. And for at 5 p.m., it will be 30.06. For Mississippi, at 1 a.m., the pressure will be at 30.09. And at 3 p.m., it will be 30.04. For Louisiana, at 1 a.m., the pressure will be 30.06, and at 4 p.m. it will be 30 inches mercury. And for Mobile Bay, Alabama, at 1 a.m. it will be 30.12, and the pressure will be 20.03 at 4 p.m. Generally, the best times will be a 2-hour gap for the best times in the 5 locations for tomorrow. We're looking at the major and minor, which is opposing lunar transit and lunar transit. For Florida, it will be 8:58 a.m. to 5:58 a.m. and minor will be 9:23 p.m. to 11:23 p.m. For Texas, opposing lunar transit will be 8:44 a.m. to 10:44 a.m. and minor lunar transit will be 9:10 p.m. to 11:10 p.m. For Mississippi, major opposing lunar transit, best window for opportunity for high activity fishing will be 8:22 a.m. to 10:22 a.m. and minor lunar transit will be 8:48 p.m. to 10:48 p.m. For Louisiana, major opposing lunar transit will be 8:26 a.m. to 10:26 a.m. and minor lunar transit will be 8:53 p.m. to 10:53 p.m. Alabama, major opposing lunar transit will be 8:19 a.m. to 10:19 a.m. and minor lunar transit will be 8:46 p.m. to 10:46 p.m. We hope that this weather update for bass fishing for the 5 states, as mentioned, has been very helpful. Please leave a comment for us to let us know how we can actually improve this forecasting. As mentioned earlier, we will actually include more information as far as swell and different aspects of the ocean and bring it to you prior to the actual day, so you'll be more well informed. please go ahead, subscribe, like, and share this video with your fishing enthusiasts, or we're going to try and make this daily, so you'll actually have the necessary information as accurate as possible for the following day based on the exact precise location as mentioned. We are looking at 5 specific spots. The Florida power spot for Florida. We're looking at the Sabine Pass for Texas. We're also looking at Mississippi Sound for Mississippi. We're looking at the Shell Beach, Louisiana spot, and then for Alabama it will be the Mobile Bay for Alabama for the precise exact location for pressure and other information. Based on the preliminary reports, we saw that the water temperature in the area was somewhere between 70 to 71 degrees, so the water is cooling down. The Gulf of Mexico is still quite dry, considering all of the hurricane activity, so there's a heavy dry air that is actually in the Gulf, but it's as far as the northern part of the Gulf of Mexico is actually cooling down quite a bit, and that is limiting any kind of cyclonic action in the Caribbean Sea at this time. So as we wrap up the hurricane season, which was the most active in history, we are actually seeing a cooling trend in the Gulf of Mexico at this time, and of course that impacts the states such as particularly Louisiana and Alabama and Mississippi. So as always remember to bow to weather, and please subscribe and click that notification bell for our next update. Thank you.